All right, so you want to land that dream job at VMware, huh? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to crack the code, get those insights from career expert Joshua Brown over at How to Become.
He really breaks down how to impress those VMware hiring managers.
I bet. I mean, getting hired anywhere in tech right now is tough.
Oh, absolutely. And he really emphasizes nailing those early questions. Like, you'd be surprised how many candidates stumble on the classics, Like, tell me about yourself.
Yeah, that one seems so simple, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like there's got to be a strategy to it, especially at a company like VMware.
It's not about, like, reciting your resume. It's more about highlighting the specific skills and experiences that really resonate with VMware. Their values. They have that whole Epic 2 thing.
Oh, right, right.
With their values execution, passion, integrity, customers, community.
So if you can weave in examples that kind of showcase those values.
Huge win. Instead of just saying like, oh, I'm results oriented or whatever, talk about a time you went above and beyond to deliver a project that really made a difference for the customers. Show them you walk the walk.
Yeah, the VMware way. Love that. You're not just fitting a mold, but you're showing them you already kind of embody it a little bit.
Exactly.
Okay, so another question Joshua really dives into is why VMware? I feel like it's easy to fall into generic answers with this one.
Oh, 100%. Like, VMware is an innovative company.
Right.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Everybody says that.
Totally.
Yeah.
So how do you stand out? What's the magic?
Research. You gotta go deep.
Hmm.
Their website go beyond just like the surface level. Look at their recent projects, their open source contributions, their focus on things like hybrid cloud, edge computing. Find something that genuinely connects with what you're interested in, your career goals, and speak to that.
So say you're super passionate about sustainability in tech,
Right.
and you see the VMware's making big moves with green data centers. Boom, there's your in.
Exactly. And you can say, hey, I'm really impressed by VMware's commitment to sustainability, especially all the stuff you're doing with green data centers. This aligns with my values. I want to contribute my skills in that kind of environment.
You've shown you've done your homework, you're aligned with their values, you're thinking beyond just the job title. That's huge.
And it shows you actually want to be part of the community at VMware, not just like any tech job.
Right. Okay, so that's how you nail those early questions.
Yeah.
It sets the tone for the whole interview. But what about those curveball questions, the ones that throw you off a little bit?
Ah, yes. Those are where things get good. Like, tell me about a time you disagreed with your manager.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
I'm feeling a little stressed already.
It's a classic for a
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
They want to see how you deal with conflict, especially in a fast-paced environment where innovation's key.
Right. So how do you navigate that one like a pro?
The key is you have to show you can engage in constructive conflict. Notice how I said constructive.
Right. They don't want to hear about a time you like stormed out of a meeting or anything. They
Right.
want to see maturity, professionalism, solutions oriented. That's what they're looking for.
Okay, so less drama, more diplomacy. I like it. But how do you actually structure your answer to hit those points?
And this is where Joshua's advice is so helpful. He loves the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result, and then a little reflection at the end. It's like a roadmap for answering these behavioral questions.
So the STAR method, it's like a kind of like a storytelling framework for these interview questions, right?
Exactly. Like with that disagreement question, it helps you tell a structured story.
Okay, so walk me through it.
Okay, so first, you set the scene, right? The situation. Maybe you were working on a project and there were different opinions on the best way to approach it.
Okay, so something relatable like everyone's been there.
Exactly. Then you talk about the task. What was your specific role? What were you responsible for?
So not just like, oh, I was on a project team, but something more like I was leading the development of this one part of it and my manager wanted to go in a different design direction.
Yes, be specific. Then comes the action, and this is where you really shine. What steps did you take to deal with that disagreement? Did you, schedule a meeting with your manager? Did you bring data to the table or research to back up your point of view? Did you really listen to their perspective?
So you're showing how you handle those tough conversations.
Exactly.
And hopefully you're demonstrating those Epic 2 values along the way.
100%. Then you lay out the result. What happened because of the actions you took? Was there a compromise? Did the project get back on track? Did your manager see things a little differently?
And if you've got some numbers to back it up, even better.
Always a plus. Like, because of our compromise, we saw a 15% increase in user engagement, that kind of thing.
Love it. Okay, so what about the reflection piece?
That's where you step back and say, okay, what did I learn from this? How did this experience help me grow?
So you're showing that you're always trying to improve, you're self-aware.
Exactly. So the STAR method, it takes this question that could be kind of tricky and turns it into an opportunity. You can showcase your problem-solving skills, how you communicate, and how you align with those VMware values.
It's like turning a pitfall into a launching pad. Now, there's another question that I feel like trips people up sometimes. Why should we hire you?
Yeah, it feels very direct, doesn't it?
It does.
But it's actually a great opportunity to bring everything together.
You've got all this experience, skills, you vibe with their values, now you gotta, like, seal the deal.
This is your moment to connect the dots.
Okay.
Don't just repeat your resume. Tie it directly to what they need, to VMware's goals, to the job description.
So instead of, I'm a great communicator, what could you say?
You could say, in my last role, I led these cross-functional teams and we launched this new cloud-based software solution. And that experience really taught me how to communicate and collaborate effectively, which I know is crucial in a fast-paced environment like VMware.
Boom. You took something generic and made it powerful by connecting it to their work in cloud computing.
Exactly. This is also where you highlight those unique skills, those things that make you stand out. So let's say you've got experience with specific VMware tech, vSphere, NSX, whatever it is.
Weave it in.
Absolutely. If you're going for a role that involves managing virtual environments,
You could say,
you could say, my deep understanding of vSphere, which I've gained through hands-on experience and certifications, means I can contribute to VMware's success in virtualization from day one.
they're speaking their language. You're not just there for a job. You're there to be a valuable part of their team.
Exactly. It's not about bragging. It's about showing them you're the best fit for what they need.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, but what about some of those other common interview questions we should be ready for?
Right. Let's make sure you're totally prepared.
Yeah.
For sure. Be ready to talk about your strengths and weaknesses. That's a big one.
Yeah, it never really goes away, does it? That question.
Nope. Classic for a reason, I guess. But again, when you're talking about your strengths, connect them back to the role, back to VMware.
So instead of just saying, like, I'm a fast learner.
Give them an example. Say, I'm a fast learner, always eager to pick up new technologies. Like, I took the initiative to learn VMware Tanzu.
Oh, nice. Their platform.
And because of that, I was able to streamline our whole application deployment process, which cut down our dev cycle time significantly.
Now you're talking. Okay, but weaknesses, that's always a tough one.
Honesty is key, but be strategic about it. Pick something that's not going to make or break you in this specific role, and frame it as something you're actively working on.
So say you're not the best at public speaking, but you're applying for a role that involves presentations.
Right. So you could say, while I'm very comfortable with one-on-one communication, I am actively trying to improve my public speaking. I've even joined Toastmasters to work on my delivery skills. I'm always looking for those chances to, present to a bigger group.
There you go. Self-aware, committed to growth.
Exactly. And you've taken action, not just saying it.
Love it. So to wrap this up, any final nuggets of wisdom from Joshua Brown himself on how to absolutely crush this VMware interview?
He keeps coming back to preparation. Know what to expect, have those solid answers ready, understand their culture. That's how you build confidence.
It's like you want to go from just surviving the interview to actually, like, enjoying the conversation.
Right. Relax, be yourself, let that passion for tech, for VMware come through.
Okay, so to sum it all up for our listeners, what are the absolute must-dos for acing that VMware interview?
Research, research, research. Tailor your answers to their goals, their values. Use that STAR method we talked about. Tell those stories.
Show them what you've got, and don't be afraid to really let that enthusiasm for tech and for VMware shine through.
Absolutely.
All right, with the right prep and the right attitude, you got this. Go get that dream job.